Hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Farias, and I'm here today at Community Newspaper, actually on my first show. And today I bring you Mr. Julio Guzman, the Vice Mayor of Homestead. Um, as my being my first show, he's my first guest. So, Julio, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me, Johnny. Pleasure being here.
No problem. Yeah, I'm excited to have you. I'm excited because I see so many big things that are happening in Homestead.
Yeah, a lot of good things are happening in Homestead, and I'm glad to be a part of it, man, and see this history in the making.
Well, Julio, when I first met you, you was appointed a councilman.
Yeah, a few years back in 2019, there was a vacancy on the Homestead City Council. And, I've been in Homestead 43 years, and I've been well involved with a lot of the civic organizations, the Chamber of Commerce. I've just been heavily involved in the community in Homestead. So I said, I'd like to see some really good things happen in Homestead. So I put my name in the pot, and by the grace of God, I was selected and appointed by then Mayor Steve Shelley.
Okay, awesome. And well, what made you get into politics? Let's start from there.
So, like I said, I've been in Homestead a long time. Raising a family in Homestead. I'm very proud to be from Homestead. I remember when the Hurricane Andrew hit, I had to commute to another school, and I went to Gables High School for my last 2 years of high school while our house was being rebuilt. And I would notice when I was up in the Gables, I would notice a lot of cool things in that city, just like you see in other cities. And then I'd come back to Homestead. Although we were rebuilding, we just came out of a storm. I just always saw Homestead in a really good light, and I wanted to. Anywhere I went, I would see things, and I'd say, "Oh, this would be great in Homestead." So I came back, got involved in the community, and when I had an opportunity to get involved in City Council, I said, "This would give me a stronger voice to bring better things for Homestead, especially when it comes to quality of life." That's what we're mainly focused on, is the quality of life. We want great schools. We want no traffic. We want better rest. We want a lot of good things in Homestead.
Right. Well, I mean, I tell you, when I first came to Florida, I was stationed in Homestead Air Force Base.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen Homestead grow. I mean, tremendously, and I'm very excited and proud of what Homestead has done. As you were a councilman, what things have you been proud of that you've been able to achieve?
So what I've been able to achieve as a councilman in Homestead is just bringing forward great ideas that's going to advance the city of Homestead. We've got some issues in Homestead with overdevelopment. We got some issues with traffic. We've got some issues with garbage. We've got there's
city.
Right, and we've got some issues with making sure that people can live, work, play. I mean, we want people not to have to commute to work, right? We want people to have green space where they can go with their family and go to a park. We want vibrant downtown. I don't know any other city that is truly great without a great downtown. So these are some of the things that City of Homestead has, and we've been working tirelessly trying to make sure that those problems get addressed. One of the things that I've proffered and I've told the City of Homestead is we need, in regards to our garbage problem, there's the City of Homestead, has a bulk waste pickup that, twice a month, the City of Homestead comes with the cherry picker and they pick up your bulk waste. City of Homestead provides that service twice a month throughout the year for the residents, which is a great benefit because if you look at, let's say Miami-Dade County, they only give you 2 pickups per year.
Yes.
And you got to call it in and make an appointment. So Homestead's giving these benefits, and again, it's for a better quality of life. But what happens is, a lot of times people put their garbage out too soon, or they don't follow the schedule that the city has given them. So what happens, it creates an area that looks like there's just a lot of garbage. So I've told the city we should have a transfer station, and a transfer station similar to what they have on Moody Drive, where if you felt like clipping trees, you throw them in the back of your truck, you go over to a transfer station, you pull up, you show the person your ID, and then that person says, okay, you're from the City of Homestead, go over to stall number 1 or stall number 2.
Right.
And then you just kind of push it off into the big canister, and then we would help solve the problem of having a bunch of garbage throughout mostly the western part of Homestead, because over on the east side, those are regulated by the HOAs. There are a lot of gated communities over there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put something in an HOA that's not supposed to be there, they quickly send you a notice of violation, and it's handled a lot faster. But on the west side, we have to handle that with code enforcement.
Right.
And code enforcement right now, they need more people in code enforcement so they can properly do the job of enforcing all of the things that are going wrong in Homestead.
Okay. I know that you were appointed to the councilman before, and then you had to give it up because the whole the one that was mayor came back, and then after that. So then after that, you ran, you won. How was that for you?
Well, that was basically just kind of waiting your turn. I always want to respect the fact of the people that have the opportunity to come back to their seat.
Right.
And Councilman, or then Mayor Shelley, came back as a councilman, and there was an election for mayor. He didn't want to be mayor. So I said, it's fine. Just continue to do good work in the community. Mm-hmm. Wait for your turn to run for Homestead City Council, because then Councilman Shelley was going to be termed out. So I ran, and with the blessing of God, we won the election, and we're here.
And you're vice mayor now.
Right.
So
right.
Okay, and as vice mayor, what have you been able to do? 'Cause I know you.
Right. So
of
another idea that we've proffered is, we've got an issue with density. Right. There's a lot of development going on in Homestead, but I think development needs to be controlled, needs to be measured, it needs to be in the right places. So part of what I've told the city of Homestead is, a lot of times when you can visually see something and what it can be, it can help us identify where density should be and where it should not be. So there is a program called Gridix. It's a program that takes your code and it offers a 3D kind of simulation of what's happening in your city based on the code and the policies that you have currently in the city. So
Right.
if you look at it and you add this Gridix software program to it, all of a sudden you can now start to see how high would these buildings be, how much density would be applied, a kind of across the board, and then you can almost be in a simulation and say, that probably won't work there. We shouldn't have that kind of density there. Maybe the density should be more focused towards the downtown area where we want walkable, bikeable spaces so that people don't have to be so dependent on cars, where, you can have shops and cafes and, people can get on one of those little scooters or
Right.
any of those things. So these are some of the things that I'm implementing with the city of Homestead so that we could truly understand what is going to work best for the city of Homestead.
And one thing I know over the years, Homestead is growing. You're getting a lot of people moving down there. Because look, you hear a lot of people say, well, the housing market is very expensive in the Kendall area, in the Sweetwater area. So let's go to Homestead because it's so cheaper over there. And that's blown up.
It has. And even though you may be able to find less expensive homes in Homestead, it truly still is not affordable for the majority of the people that live in Homestead. So
I agree.
We've got to make sure that we are always looking for ways to, help these people offset the cost of housing, which is why, every quarter we have a first-time home buyer event, because, there's the Medit program with Miami-Dade Advocacy Trust, where they have just, they've just increased the amount of money that you can get. It used to be $14,000, now it's $28,000 that they're giving first-time home buyers, which you can then layer on top of some of the programs that the city of Homestead has, so that you could ultimately get, up to $35,000 in incentives when you're buying your first home to offset that initial cash investment.
For the viewers that don't know what that is, explain. Can we get it from the City of Homestead website? The first-time home buyer program.
Sure, you can go onto the City of Homestead's website and go to the CRA. It's the CRA department, and you will see on the CRA's website, you'll see first-time home buyer program and the monies that they've got available for that program. And I'll also share with you that the CRA is also hosting a first-time home buyer program coming up soon. I'm going to share the information with you after I jump on the website. For a second.
And again, these programs are also approved by the council, and the vice mayor and mayor to help residents that want to buy homes, first-time homes in the city of Homestead.
Correct.
Well,
Correct. 'Cause
that is awesome.
if you also think, back when we had the initial crash in 2005, 6, and 7, that was driven by a lot of debt, right?
Right.
But the rental prices kind of maintain the same. Now what we're finding is, since we have so much migration into the state of Florida, there isn't enough inventory for people to live. So when you have low inventory, it drives up the cost, not only of homes that you want to purchase, but also rents. So we are for the first time the highest market when it comes to housing anywhere in the country right now. Consider New York, consider California, San Francisco, consider places in Texas. I mean, Florida, Miami right now is the highest right now. And it's because of the migration that we have that's coming in. Right. So we've got to do a better job of
and you know this too, because you're also a realtor.
Right.
So you have first base knowledge of all this stuff that's going on.
Right.
So
we constantly, the Miami Association of Realtors, bless their soul, I'm so glad to be a part of that organization, which is the largest in the country, by the way. They are always analyzing and giving us relevant, the most recent data for us to understand what's happening in the housing market. So we advocate, and we're always looking for ways on how we can help, the average consumer, the average resident. We promote a lot of home ownership, and that's what we want to promote in Homestead is home ownership, because a lot of times people think, no, Homestead is way down there. We're just gonna make a subsidized living area, and that's not the case. There's hardworking people that live in Homestead that make a decent living,
Absolutely.
and they're living in their homes. And I'm always going to promote home ownership. So if there's ever a way that I can, help someone understand the difference between renting and purchasing, I'm always going to lean towards purchasing a home. It gives you a sense of pride of where you live. Now, I don't want to say that there isn't space or there isn't a product out there for people that want to rent, because sometimes they're transient, or maybe somebody doesn't want to own a home. They don't want to be made responsible for their AC or their, their stove, this homeowner. So there's always a place for that person as well.
You bring up earlier the work, live, play. I don't know if it's already passed through your council or not. I don't know how much you can talk about it, but I was aware that you guys approved some kind of development where, like another town center, like a city.
They call it a city place homestead.
City place home. There you go.
City place homestead. So the city of Homestead has been in negotiations with that developer for roughly about 2 years now, and it's a beautiful, beautiful urban center is what I would consider calling it. It's an urban center. It's got residential units, it's got restaurants, it's got rooftop, it's got commercial space, it's got a grocery store, everything that the city of Homestead would want. But the negotiation part is still underway with the city of Homestead. So we're looking to finalize that in the next, coming days, in the next coming weeks, to see if that negotiation is going to be beneficial for the city of Homestead to bring that to fruition.
And you're always looking to bring things to Homestead so that the Homestead residents, they don't have to leave Homestead and go to Kendall or even down to Southland Mall, so which now that's being sold and covered something else. So that's great. That's happening in Homestead. I see Homestead growing in a lot of good things. What do you?
So working with the South Dade Chamber of Commerce, working with the South Dade EDC. We work with these groups because they are a stakeholder in the city of Homestead as well. And the city of Homestead has approximately 85,000 residents, which is a lot of consumers. There's a lot of consumers down in the city of Homestead. And we've got a great talent pool, because you'll notice most of the traffic starts early in the morning with everyone leaving from Homestead to work their way into Doral, downtown. They are all leaving Homestead to go work up in Miami, but you think of the quality of life of that person. They're spending, 3-4 hours in their car to and from work. That takes a lot of time away from your family. It takes a lot of time away from, your spouse. And, we want to find a way, and we're always looking to partner with those stakeholders like the EDC and the South Dade Chamber of Commerce, the Beacon Council, and anybody that wants to come bring commerce to the city of Homestead. So we want to bring more jobs. We want to bring high-paying jobs. We want to bring an atmosphere where it is easy to do business with the city of Homestead, so that if you want to expand your business in the city of Homestead, we don't make it cumbersome for you. We want to make it a smooth, quick, easy transition so that you can open your business and then people can start to work near where they live. I mean, I work 5 minutes from my house and I think it's great. I wish everybody had the opportunity to do the same thing, because you can come to and from your house whenever you need.
I agree. I want to touch base on some traffic. I know that they're finishing. Well, I mean, I think it's 2026 where they're going to finalize that South Day corridor with the buses.
Yeah.
How is that impacting Homestead, and how do you feel about that?
I feel great. I mean, it was the next best thing we could get before rail. You know, rail would have always been my first choice, but
I voted on rail too.
If this is the next best option to rail, then we'll take it, because I think Miami-Dade County as a whole has been very car centric. It hasn't been really in tune with rapid transit, but we're doing our best. And I noticed that this administration and some prior administrations have been giving a lot of attention to focus on how we could better our rapid transit system, and having the bus rapid transit go all the way to Florida City. I believe it's going to help. It's going to help tremendously. I'm eager to see how fast it's going to get us over to Dadeland. I want to be the first one on that bus when it opens up.
Right.
And I want to feel what it's like to go to Dadeland and to jump on the train to go to downtown. Because if we had a rail that came down to Homestead, it would truly, re-identify the city of Homestead and Florida City. I mean, if you wanted to go to a Heat game, you just jump on the train and go to the game. You wouldn't have to drive. That would be awesome. We don't have that.
And Homestead, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the third largest city in Dade County.
I believe it's the fifth largest city in Dade County. They've got Miami Beach, Miami Gardens,
City of Miami.
You got Hialeah, City of Miami. So I think we're the fifth. But we're growing quickly. We might soon be the third.
There you go.
I wouldn't take that for granted. So we might soon be the third. And yeah, the more people come to Homestead, I think Homestead residential development has outpaced the commercial development. Mm-hmm. So, me being part of the Miami Realtors commercial board of governors, there's a lot of interest in the city of Homestead. We just got to make sure that as policymakers, we create the right policies to make it conducive for those people to come and want to open in Homestead.
Now, for a lot of the viewers, when they think about Homestead, they think about way far. But I can personally tell you that in Homestead, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, you guys do your own Christmas tree. Yeah. You do your own parades, the Veteran Parade, the 4th of July Parade. I mean, and now they're redoing the center, that center, the park, no, that by the theater. Tell us about that. How's that going?
So the new Losner Park is great. It's been a great addition to our downtown. After it's open, I've seen so much more activity coming on in the downtown area, but I still think that downtown needs more restaurants. It needs more shops. And we are making some headway now at the Homestead Station, which is the big transit hub where they've got Showbiz Cinemas. So we're making a lot of headway there. Cirque Salon is about to open. I went there today, took a little tour of what they've got going on, and consider Cirque Salon, which they have a store in the Keys. Consider Cirque Salon being your one-stop destination for, all your hair, your nails, your eyebrows. They're going to have individual cubicles that, individually handle any one of those, grooming things that a woman or man may need. So that's opening up. We've got, the AT&T store is there. We've got the Enterprise Rent-A-Car that is opening up in Homestead Station. So we're now starting to see some momentum come at Homestead Station, because it has been dormant since COVID. It's been dormant even right before and after COVID. Now, after COVID, it's starting to get some momentum, which is great to see what's happening down there.
That's good. And, I mean, Homestead has a lot of hidden treasures. The Ice Cream place right by Miami-Dade College.
La Michoacana.
Yes, that's if anybody has not gone over there yet, please go to Homestead, and it's right across from City Hall.
Right across from City Hall. It is one of the staple places that Homestead has. If you go there, there's so much culture, there's so much
Yes, there
energy in that place, and the ice cream is great.
Oh, it is.
I mean, I don't think you can find it anywhere. And I've interviewed and I've gone over there to understand the history and how they started, and they got a phenomenal story too. So I'm always here to support La Michoacana, and the people who do go and eat ice cream there only got great things to say about La Michoacana.
Of course. And have they finished the expansion of the Miami-Dade college campus there?
They're just about done. They're just about done, and when you walk out of City Hall and see that building that almost mirrors kind of the architecture that the City Hall has, and I'm so proud of our City Hall. I go to other City Halls and I'm like, man, ours has kind of got a unique, it's got a unique flavor to it, which is great. So the Miami-Dade, Entrepreneurial Center, which is just across the street, the Student Center, it's looking amazing. When you walk out of City Hall, you see it. It's going to be a great addition to see all those college campus students, hanging around and working
I'll tell you the
there.
secret. I'm an electrical contractor, and a lot of those contractors, when we talk about the City of Homestead, City Hall, because we go for permits, we say we're going to Taj Mahal. Because, it's really nice. I like it.
Yeah, we're really proud of the City Hall that they built.
I want to hear a little about you. You have two kids.
I've got three kids, actually. I've got three
that.
kids. My parents are Dominican. My parents are from the Dominican Republic. I was born in Jersey. I came to Homestead when I was 3 years old. My wife, Emily Guzman, God bless her soul. Thank God for blessing me with her. She is Cuban. And we've got a son, Dorian, 29. We've got a daughter, Jenny, who's 25. And we've got JC, which is now 7 years old.
One.
Yeah, we got the little one. So, yeah, I've got three kids. Two adults are out of the house now. I've got JC now. He goes to Somerset City Arts, which is an amazing school as well, right around the corner from our house. So Homestead does have really good schools too. I want to make sure that people know that Homestead does not have any D or F schools at all. Zero.
Okay.
So part of the things that make a city great is when you've got great schools. So any ways that I can, help advance the school system, although I think, board member Luisa Santos is doing an amazing job being our board member, and, shout out to Luisa Santos. But if there's any way I could help push her initiative, I'm always there to help her out.
Okay, so for those viewers out there, tell Luisa that Julio's ready to help out some more. I like that.
I'm a big supporter of Luisa Santos.
I do want to touch before this all ends the housing market out there in Homestead and in the South Dade area period. How do you see it coming? Are we going to upzone? Are we going to go move the UDB? How do you feel? What do you see in the near future for us there?
I think the moving of the UDB, that's a daunting task. And from what I've seen with the 800-acre parcel just north of the base, that was contested. It was vetoed. So I think that's a very difficult process to do. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. The housing market, I think, it's like I said, it's short of inventory at the moment with the people that are down there. That's why the prices are so high. So I think, like I said earlier today, I think when you've got measured, when you've got, development that is planned correctly, and you can create walkable, bikeable spaces where people can ride their bike or walk to wherever they need to go within a short, 5-minute walk. I think that is where density needs to be and should be. I think Homestead has got, they're tapped out with townhomes, and, if they're going to be single family homes, if they're zoned correctly in the right area for single family homes, that's all great. But when it comes to, density, I think it needs to be more in the downtown area or in the rapid transit corridor. Rapid transit corridor. That's the only place that density should be. And again, it's to create walkable and bikeable spaces. Like, for example, when you go to Brickell or you go to Coconut Grove, some places in Doral, people can walk out of their condo, their apartment, and they can walk down, have a cup of coffee. They can have outdoor dining. They can, have meeting spaces with people. They go to Starbucks. That's the kind of energy that we need in the downtown Homestead area.
Okay, that's great. One last question that I would like to ask you. Associations, HOAs. Just recently we saw a big thing in the hammocks where, the association there stole a lot of money. People got arrested and so on. Do you see any of that happening in the Homestead area, and what kind of issues do you think Homestead has with their HOAs?
Well, being part of the Miami Association of Realtors, especially also, having a good relationship with Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez, there has been legislation put forward letting the associations now have to report, what their budgets are and what their finances look like so that we can avoid having moments like that. So I think, they're going to have to report. If not, they're going to get fined by the state. So I think putting those policies in place are going to help us not have to deal with certain things like that. And if you're one of the HOAs that's a bad apple, you're soon going to, run yourself out of business, or you're going to be in receivership, or something's going to happen quickly because now you have to report this information so that it is a transparent way of doing business, which I think in any business, as long as you're transparent and you let the people know what's happening, that's
Right.
always better
Of course.
for quality of life and for anybody that wants to do business or move into any of those places.
Okay. So if you're a resident in City of Homestead and we need to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do it?
You can always call the City of Homestead. You can always call me and my cell phone number, 786-229-0157. I'm accessible anytime. You could email me, jguzman@cityofhomestead.com. And you can also follow Vice Mayor Julio Guzman if you want to DM me. So any which way you want, there's a way to get a hold of me, and I want to always be accessible to the people to handle any of their concerns.
That's good. That's great. And we have about 3 minutes left. I know that, and just to bring it up, I know you're running now for mayor, and I would like to ask if we can bring you on again next time and talk about that. Because today I just wanted to talk about Homestead, about you. So if possible, can we get you again?
Absolutely,
about that?
absolutely. I can come on the show as many times as you want. If there's any way that I could get information out, I always like to be able to be a conduit for good information. And at the end of the day, we just want people that can get things done. At the end of the day, that's all the residents want. If you're a person that can get things done, I'd like to see you in there so that you can make things happen in the City of Homestead that's going to give us a better quality of life.
All right. Well, I think this was very productive. I got to learn some stuff about Homestead myself. And I see you're a proud homesteader there. So that's good. So
thank you.
So viewers, we know Homestead is growing.
Yeah.
They want you there. We know that things are going to grow up.
If you open a business in Homestead, you should do very well because there's 85,000 people in Homestead that need to consume products.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, in 30 seconds, tell the viewers why they should go to Homestead.
Come to Homestead so you can get some very good farmers market, agritourism type of ambiance, atmosphere. Come to Homestead to meet very nice people, and come to Homestead just to get away from the hustle and bustle of Miami-Dade County and all the other parts of Miami-Dade County. You're going to see a lot of cool things happening in Homestead, especially on the Chrome corridor.
Okay, which Chrome is growing a lot.
Yeah, Chrome is doing well.
Well, thank you very much. I know we're still about a minute off, but I think we did good. Thank you, Julio, again for coming. Viewers, thank you very much. Again, I'm Johnny Farias. I'm here with Vice Mayor Julio Guzman. And thank you for stopping by.
It was a pleasure being here, Johnny. Thank you.